Health and Wellness segment is brought to you by GlaxoSmithKline Consumer Healthcare.
For fast, triple-action relief of pain, fever and inflammation, use Grandpa. Trust Grandpa, South Africa's #1 pain reliever. Available in powders and tablets.
Parents and doctors, take careful stock of fever. Once you have one, how do you bring it down? What are the real facts on fever? Well, let's step into the doctor's beautiful office.
This is the way it's supposed to be.
Now, doctor, what are the most common causes of fever?
Well, many conditions can actually cause a fever, and some of these conditions may be potentially serious, while others are mild and self-limiting. Commonly, infections and other inflammatory conditions, such as gout or insect bites, they can release toxins into the body and that may cause a fever. Certain medical interventions, such as vaccinations for young children, may also cause a fever. And lastly, environmental factors, such as exposure to excessive heat. If you're out there on the sports ground and you get overheated, you may end up with a very high temperature. This is not a fever, however, because it's a different medical condition and is treated differently as well.
So what is a normal body temperature in an adult, and when do you have a fever?
Normal body temperature, when measured peripherally, ranges between 35.5 degrees Celsius to 37.5 degrees Celsius. And it also fluctuates throughout the day. You won't find the same temperature as you wake up in the morning. It's normally lower, and later on during the day in the afternoon is normally higher. The average, though, you find is about 36.8 to 37 degrees. So anything above 37.5, basically, you have a fever.
So how can one best measure a fever?
There are various methods one can use to measure body temperature. They are what we call peripheral methods. Here we use the armpit thermometer, or the oral one under the tongue, and also the forehead one. It's a thermometer, not the hand thermometer, an actual forehead thermometer. There is also what we call core temperature measurement, and this we measure in the ear or in the rectum. Not always applicable and appropriate or practical, so you're pretty safe using an oral or an ear thermometer.
How should you treat a fever?
There are simple measures one can take at home, such as standing near a cooling fan, taking off any excessive layers of clothing, using tepid sponging, where you take a lukewarm water with a wet cloth and you put on the face and the neck and the body, and then you wait a bit. If these practical measures fail at home, one should also consider taking over-the-counter fever relief medication.
Is there a link between pain and fever?
Not necessarily. Fever can occur with or without pain and vice versa. However, that which is causing a fever may also be causing a pain. Say, for example, you have a tick bite, okay? You're gonna have pain where the tick bit you, among other symptoms, but you'll also have a fever.
Now, when should a doctor be consulted?
Fever is fairly common, and lucky for us, generally self-limiting. However, if it persists for more than 2 to 3 days, despite taking measures at home or taking an aspirin or paracetamol-based over-the-counter pain relief medicine, then one should consider seeing a doctor, especially if you're feeling generally unwell and very lethargic, or there are symptoms that you cannot explain, or something is very concerning, and if you've picked up an underlying condition such as an infection.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Lerato, for sharing your views with us today. I now know that my hand is not really a thermometer, and the next time I have a fever, I know exactly what to do. If you have any queries or concerns about today's topic, we suggest that you consult your medical practitioner.
For fast, triple-action relief of pain, fever and inflammation, use Grandpa. Trust Grandpa, South Africa's #1 pain reliever. Available in powders and tablets.